Hey y'all, I am back for the first time in a while. I don't know, it might be like a month, but I saw that Linda Moulton Howe was going to be live tonight. What is hidden deep beneath Egypt's Khafre pyramid? I guess she'll tell us how to pronounce it. And that's the kind of stuff that I love from her. So I thought that I would do a live react. So I am sitting here waiting for her to actually come on. It's actually already, she's supposed to come at 9:30. It's 9:30 now. Stream hasn't started yet. So I just wanted to record a quick intro in case she just like goes live and hops right on instead of giving us a few seconds at the beginning. So, here we are, and I will start recording again when the stream actually starts. All right. All right. We're getting some lovely, too loud music from Linda, but she's going to be on in 40 seconds. I love this picture of her with this cat. Oh, two cats, actually. They're two cats. They're so fluffy, they kind of merge into each other visually. But I love that she loves her cats so much, and they are... I mean, I do love fluffy things, but I feel like their faces are a little like, they got those like squished flat faces, and I think that's maybe not the cutest cat look sometimes. But whatever, I'm not going to be mean to cats. They're nice. I love animals. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Hi, everyone here and around the world. 2 weeks ago, on March 20th, 2025, the Northern Hemisphere began moving into spring, while the Southern Hemisphere is moving into fall. And at that vernal equinox 2 weeks ago, some astonishing headlines emerged from Cairo, Egypt, and from Jerusalem, one of the oldest cities on Earth.
A little close to some horrible things.
The graphic illustration
scientists say, Italian researchers...
was also described.
Okay, but this is the Daily Mail.
Researchers claim to have uncovered a vast underground city which stretches more than 4,000 feet directly underneath the pyramids of Giza in Cairo.
But it's in the Daily Mail.
Making the underground city 10 times larger than the pyramids themselves. The bombshell claim, which many experts have already tried to debunk, comes from a study that used radar pulses to create high-resolution images deep into the ground beneath the structures, the same way sonar radar is used to map the depths of the ocean, close quote. This graphic illustration of the SAR data, I'm going to make we got off on a page for the teleprompter. Let's go back and start.
What? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. She said she has a teleprompter? I didn't know she had a teleprompter. It sounds like she's shuffling papers around. So.
It does go.
The Jerusalem Post. Okay, so far her sources are the Jerusalem Post and the Daily Mail. And I feel like I'm not a scientist. I have been trained as an academic. Media literacy standards, I don't think those are the two main sources that I would, think are the most believable for something like this.
Let's start over.
Oh my god. Linda!
We'll call that...
I'm sorry, Linda's having technical difficulties.
We'll call it a faulty beginning, and we'll start over.
Okay.
It was a technical problem.
Again.
Yeah,
technical
it was a technical
difficulties.
problem on our end.
Yeah,
on
we
this
start
one.
again. All that again.
Yes, so that we can just cut off that front.
Okay, well, just let everybody know.
Oh, she's gonna start all over again? Is she? Oh no, did they not film it properly or something? Because I know she posts these afterwards, right? But I guess they're gonna edit out that part if they start over? Oh my god. This is... Come on, Linda. Get yourself together.
And you'll be able to chop off this. Okay.
This is pretty funny, actually. I love her, whispering to, her whatever film guy.
Give me a 3, 2, 1. Give me a 3. Countdown.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why
Hi,
this is...
everyone here and around the world.
Linda, we can't
2
see your
weeks ago,
face.
on March 20th,
The
2025,
visuals don't line
the Northern
up.
Hemisphere began moving into spring, while the Southern Hemisphere
she's not seeing
is
that the
moving
visuals aren't
into
lining up.
fall. And at that vernal equinox
Okay.
2 weeks ago, some astonishing headlines
All right.
emerged from Cairo, Egypt, and from Jerusalem, one of the oldest cities on Earth.
Do you know how long that has been doing Earth
The
Files?
UK Daily Mail headlined
A long
on
time.
March 21st, 2025, quote,
All right.
Italian researchers claim to have uncovered a vast
I'm sorry.
underground city
I'm not making you listen to
stretches
this again
more
on
than
purpose.
4,000
Maybe I
feet
should cut it out.
directly underneath the pyramids of Giza
Whatever.
in Cairo.
I'm kind of
making
lazy
the
about editing, to
underground
be
city
honest.
10 times larger than the pyramids themselves. The bombshell claim, which many experts have already tried to
Okay.
debunk, comes from a study that used radar pulses to create high-resolution images deep into the ground, beneath the structures, the
Yes,
same
Linda.
way sonar radar is used to map the depths of the ocean, close quote.
Why are we doing this
And
again?
then the Jerusalem Post headlined
Okay,
a
here we
couple
go.
of days later on March 23rd and updated March 26th, 2025, quote, researchers say they use SAR, S-A-R, synthetic aperture radar, to find a vast city beneath the pyramids. The Italian researchers claim to have discovered
Okay, who are these Italian researchers? And, like, where are they... I mean, Italian... Like, just... What institution are they from? I don't know. Okay, anyway.
underneath the Khafre pyramid 8 vertically aligned cylindrical structures arranged in 2 parallel rows from north to south and referred to as shafts, extending approximately 2,100 feet deep beneath the
Shafts.
pyramids, close quote. Synthetic aperture
That doesn't
radar,
seem like...
SAR,
That doesn't seem like a city, though. They were saying it's like a big city. But, like, what are the like... What are the shafts? Are they that doesn't seem like a city. That seems like shafts. Okay, anyway.
is a colorful 3-dimensional
That doesn't
Doppler
look like city.
technique. The radar instrument sends out a pulse of energy and then records the amount of that energy reflected back after it interacts with Earth. It creates
Earth.
2-dimensional or 3-dimensional colorful reconstruct.
Isn't that just how radar works? It's like... well, no, that's sonar. Sonar is like when you bounce sound off of something, and radar is when you bounce like an electromagnetic field off of something. Anyway. But, I mean, I think that's just how those kinds of technologies work in general, is bouncing off of stuff.
Of objects that are estimated to be approximately
Why do they look like that?
2,100 feet deep beneath the Khafre pyramid, which is the middle pyramid of Giza.
Is this like a Hollow Earth thing? Like, is this like people living in the Hollow Earth thing? Where, like, I don't know, these shafts are, like, allowing air down or something?
Not the Cheops pyramid. This graphic illustration of the SAR data was also described as, quote, huge structures discovered
This
2
looks like some
kilometers
corny shit.
below pyramid of
I don't know.
Khafre, close quote.
I'm
This
skeptical.
illustration of those large, deep underground cylindrical structures was released by 4 Italian scientists,
From?
Corrado Malanga, Armando May, Filippo Biondi, and Nicola Cicola.
Chicola.
Scientists released their new findings from a SAR scan that shows 8 large cylindrical
Okay, but why is
structures
it being reported
in
by
an
the Daily Mail?
illustration here that are
the
2
Jerusalem Post?
kilometers or 648 meters straight down below the Khafre pyramid at Giza in Cairo, which is the middle pyramid between Pyramid Menkaure and the Pyramid of Cheops, also known as Khufu. The Great Sphinx of Giza, behind the Great Cheops Pyramid,
These little arrows.
and the middle Khafre Pyramid. So it's back there behind those 2 pyramids.
It's
The Italian scientists are focusing specifically on these underground vertical cylinder structures,
Oh my God.
2,000 feet below the Khafre
Okay, what
pyramid.
are they?
And this work is part of the ongoing Khafre research project, which leverages advanced satellite
Whose video is?
technology
Oh, it's Linda's.
to explore the
video.
Giza site's hidden underground architecture.
Is this another video she did? Because it
Back
has her
around
name
the
on it.
world in Washington, D.C., Defense Scoop on March 31st, 2025 reported, quote, UAP disclosure advocates call for transparency on drone
This is
incursions.
whatever.
Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon returned to the Hill last week for closed-door discussions.
I'm sorry. Here's my take on the whole, because no one asked for it, but this is like my YouTube channel, I guess. On the UAP disclosure stuff, like, yes, if you have a huge military with a huge Air Force and I guess Navy or whatever, and lots of people flying around in planes all the time, they're gonna see weird stuff that they can't identify. That's probably happened a lot. I think it's perfectly fine for that to be disclosed to the public. I mean, like, I guess there could theoretically be some kind of security implications, but in general, whatever. I do feel like, the minimal amount that I have, like, heard about some of the people who were brought in to testify at some of the hearings that have already happened, those people do not actually seem particularly credible, if you look into them. But anyway, disclosure is fine, but as far as I can tell, nothing meaningful has been disclosed up to this point, except for like some pilots like saw some weird stuff and it was unidentified.
With several lawmakers that included U.S. Representatives Anna Luna, Tim Burchett, and Eric Burleson. Lou Elizondo told the Defense Scoop reporter, quote, it may turn out that some of these UAP are indeed new drones or some sort of adversarial technology that is flying completely unchallenged, like we saw over the CIA headquarters at Langley Air Force Base back in December 2024.
Y'all need to stop flying your drones around because it's getting people like Linda Moulton Howe all riled up for no reason. You need to stop.
Which disrupted U.S. military flights, close quote. Lou Elizondo said, quote, I'm confident that next steps are not only going to follow, but I think we're going to see potentially even more progress this year than we have seen in the last 7 years, close quote. If the Pentagon does not know for certain who controls the many unidentified drone sightings, another possibility are UFO extraterrestrial intelligence.
I mean, I guess that's technically a possibility. Technically, it is a possibility.
That, quote, drones are a subset of a bigger problem, close quote, which is a nice way to say there are still lots of unidentified moving objects in
Those
Earth's
definitely
skies,
don't look like spaceships.
and some of them might be extraterrestrial technology monitoring us humans on Earth.
Also, you
If
just
any
you,
of
you,
you-
you just think that like if the aliens are spying on us, they'd be more subtle about it, or like it'd be easy for them to hide. Like, why are we able to see them? Also, Linda once told me at a talk that our moon is a machine moon that was made by the Greys to spy on us. So, like, why aren't they just spying on us from the moon? They already have the moon. Why are they flying these drones around?
See what you think are very unusual drones in the night sky or the day sky. Try to take photos and videos with a goal to send them back to Earth Files, to here. And I'll show you more straight.
Oh, please stop sending these to Linda. Please stop taking pictures of random stuff you see in the sky and sending it to Linda. Oh my God. Actually, a friend of mine was saying the other day, like, that there was going to be some, like, drone light show somewhere that they wanted to go to. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I've seen those before. They're, like, really interesting. What would Linda do if I send her a video of that, though? Like, what would she think?
Moving lights, recorded from an airline captain flying at night recently. And he has sent me some to compare. And
An
they are
airline
fascinating.
captain? Shouldn't
But
he have
now,
better things to do?
I would like to share with you now some of your...
I mean, to be fair, I know that, like, when you're flying in a commercial airplane, my understanding is that, like, you are probably pretty bored most of the time because, like, once you kind of do the takeoff and you kind of get into the midst of the flight, I think there's probably not a lot to do, but, like, I still don't think you should be wasting time taking pictures of UAPs and sending them to Linda Moulton Howe.
fascinating chat comments from last week's March 26, 2025
chat
Earth Files
comments.
broadcast about the question, after body death, does human consciousness
Okay,
live
I
on
saw
in other
these.
dimensions?
She's done a couple of episodes recently about, like, afterlife stuff, like if human souls go on, you know, after death and all of that. And I was like, I'm not particularly interested in this. It just doesn't spark my, you know, it's not for me. So I thought I was avoiding it and waiting to see this stuff about these pyramids, but I guess here's some things that some random people are saying.
Let's start in the first chat at Michelle Tecklenburg 5950.
Okay, let's actually...
Quote, the spiritual realm is
Can I
right
playback
around
speed
us.
this?
It's closer than you think.
For just these comments? Let's do this.
At Donna, 9374. Love you, Linda and Ian, and all the Earth Files listeners around the world. Wishing you all love and light. And from Deborah Brisky,
Why did she read that? It was just thank you.
Hi, Linda and Ian. When I was 28 years old, my husband went to have a shower as I lay in bed, ready for sleep after a long day caring for my children and work. I closed my eyes to
Why are these
rest.
told
The next
so
second,
theatrically?
my soul was floating above the cupboards near the ceiling of my room. I was up there viewing myself in bed, and I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm up here, but I'm down there too. Oh my God, there are two parts of me.
That is an out-of-body experience. It does not say anything about the afterlife. People have those.
I then saw my husband come into our room, walk around the bed, and touch me on the shoulder while asking me, are you awake? As soon as he touched me, my soul was in my body again. I was so excited and told him what had just happened to me. He believed me because I have had many amazing experiences in my life. But this one was the most peaceful and beautiful experience I have ever had. I will never forget it as long as I live. To me, it was...
I mean, I'm glad that this was nice for this lady, but, like, I don't think it proves that we have souls that are separate from our bodies.
proof that our bodies are separate from our souls. The soul, that is what I call the part of me that was looking down at myself. And I wasn't scared or afraid. I was in complete peace and beauty.
Great.
Love
Great.
to you from Australia.
I'm glad that you had that experience.
And here, Diana 6855 quote,
Ooh.
I think Plato's concepts of the soul speaks volumes. His works convey the soul as immortal and as an incorporeal entity that exists before birth and after death. It continues to have a thought process. He believed in the realms of forms and how our physical world, which is constantly changing and filled with imperfection.
You know exactly
only
where I
one
want to
level.
learn about
He theorized
Plato.
there is another non-physical
The comment
reality in the
section
higher
of Linda
dimensions
Moulton Howe's
where true
live
knowledge
stream.
is obtained.
That's
And
where I
then,
want to go.
At AJQ, he wrote, quote, have you heard about the lokas from Hinduism? They are different planes of existence, universes, and realms. What if after we die, we incarnate in those kinds of worlds?
Is that what
And that was
Hindus
followed
even
by Heartbeat
believe, though?
7,
Like, is
saying,
it? Like,
quote,
I've never heard of that, but
consciousness
I
continues,
don't know.
but it is not human. We are not human. Human is a role we play, a costume we try on for life, or many human lives. But we have not always been, nor will we always be, human. This current life may be our first or only
This is
time
some
that we played
Starseed
human, or we may have identified as human for
Starseed.
so long that we imagine that is who and what we are. However, we are so much more that needs to be experienced directly to understand, close quote.
I'm glad you've
And then
experienced
to
that.
Susan, F6D4I. Quote, I am probably about your age, Linda. As a child, I had a number of these experiences.
I
Lying in
can't.
bed at night, as a very young girl, I had an escape that
I
went up
can't
through
with the
ceiling
out-of-body
between two dormer windows and out
experiences.
to my favorite places.
I
One alongside a runaway
cannot.
in the
I
woods,
cannot
and
with the
alongside a
out-of-body
body that felt like a place to live.
experiences.
And in
It's
first
just
grade, sitting at my
not-
desk, I flew out the window to escape because of a teacher who constantly picked on me and punished me in front of the class. In third grade, while the teacher was talking, I was not there, but sitting in front of
Oh my god, is this some like weird... Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what was being said, but this sounds like some weird thing where some lady is imagining herself as like a past life Native American person. That's some problematic shit. Like, people need to stop. I don't know. People just need to stop.
That's why my eyes were closed. And I told her to keep the smoke out of my eyes. And
You were
next,
just a weird child.
quote, witnessed my mother's passing and
Right.
saw her take her last breath. A little later, I heard my mother's voice in my head, not like conversationally, but as though she were in motion and very excited, like overjoyed. Cindy, you should see. You should see. I mentioned it to the others in the room and then dismissed it as though my mind was playing tricks on me. And since then, I have come to realize that she was actually speaking to me on her way to wherever she was.
I mean, I'm glad if that was comforting to you, but I don't know what it
7664.
means for,
Quote,
I mean, does it
I
mean
had
anything about the
vivid
physical
out-of-body
world?
experience when I was 19. I was sitting on my couch then and I was looking at myself from above. I recall feeling critical of the way I looked. With a
Oh
blank
my
stare in my
god.
eyes.
Oh,
And
these
then
are
I got
comments.
scared. And then Andrew Taylor. Hi, Linda. After my father died, I was living at home, and a penny landed on my head, and it happened at least 5 times more.
A penny?
Of a
Like,
feeling.
did it fall from the ceiling?
Then
What does
I
that
was received.
mean?
Quote, this is so interesting, Linda.
Wait. A penny landed on his head, or her head, or their head, and it happened 5 times in the number of months or something. Where did the penny come from? Did it like, I mean, I feel like the simplest explanation here is like someone in your house was like throwing pennies at your face while you were asleep because they thought it was funny. Also, they didn't even say like, and therefore, like, the soul survives after death. It's just like, no, penny landed on my head was, that's something that happened. Gosh, Linda.
When my godfather was dying in a hospice, I woke in the night very sad with him on my mind. I had his childhood teddy bear that I had collected from his house previously and placed it on my bed to feel close to him. I went back to sleep, and by now it was about 4 a.m. And then I dreamed of my godfather who kept saying, quote, "You've got Fredbear, you've got Fredbear." The next morning, we learned that he had sadly passed away about 5 a.m. around the time of my dream. And we had to break the news to my godmother, who was in a care home. I then told my godmother, I hope you don't mind, but I took his teddy bear as a comfort to feel close to him without telling her about my dream. "Oh," she said, "you've got Fredbear. We call him that as in threadbare because he was so
Again,
worn."
like,
I had no idea
this
the
is a
pen had that
dream
name,
you
and that
had.
was proof to
It's
me
just a
that my
dream.
beloved godfather had come to say goodbye.
Also, not unlikely that
And
you'd
now,
heard that name before,
at
you just don't
Marina
remember.
0242, quote, "I am new to your incredible channel. I am from Mexico City. I lost my father 2 years ago when he passed away. I had a strange but comfortable experience after the funeral in the early morning. I dreamed that I was in a place like a temple, and in its 4 corners there were stairs."
See, you know how they always say, like, people listening to other people's dreams is super boring? Well, apparently, the place to go if you really feel the need to tell someone your boring dreams is Linda Moulton Howe's comment section, because she will see that and she will think it is, like, really interesting and profound and read it on her next live stream. She'll just read whatever that you wrote about your boring ass dream. I think that's good, actually. Honestly, don't tell your friends about your boring dreams. Go put them in Linda Moulton Howe's comment sections. I just wish she wasn't reading them to us, because, I mean...
And in the middle of a patio. I was at the top of the stairs with another person, but she spoke to me by telepathy and told me why I was crying. That I should stop doing it because of my
She's
father,
getting a call.
that he was in a better place, and that he was fine, and that I should not continue crying.
That was a
and that I should
landline.
be
That was a
calm.
landline
And then
ring,
continued,
if I've ever heard
I
one.
do believe that there are energies and that the universe gives us signs of its existence and beings that have no explanation.
Sure.
Best regards.
Why is she reading
Your work
this?
is
It's just
magnificent, and
like-
I have great respect for you. Best regards from here. In
She's just reading her fan letters.
And after that came a cut from Minnie Taylor's 7282. Quote, "You asked
is she
about
reading so
near-death
many
experience or out-of-body experiences.
Oh
Several
my
years ago, I had a
god.
very strange
Hey,
dream
do you think I
that
should
not had the
comment?
light
Do you think I
substance
should
in
comment
this dream.
something
It
and
starts
see
out
if
that I
she'll
was
read
standing on a
it?
kind of
Maybe I should
knoll
comment
hill, where there was
something.
very short, dry grass all around. My husband at the time is standing next to me, and we are both fully clothed.
But,
in
like,
normal
okay, so
clothes.
the-
And I look
I
around and I see
think,
some other people there, which I do not know.
she
And
doesn't
suddenly I
have
look up,
live
and I see this
chat
large, round silver craft above
enabled
us in
on
the
this.
sky, perhaps 100 to 200 feet right above us.
I
It made
think,
no noise, but has a kind of energy coming from it. Suddenly, I feel myself being levitated up into this craft.
okay, hold on.
Next,
This might be interesting, who knows, but, I think that, because what she does is she posts them, after, they're recorded. I don't think she posts them the same way other creators do their lives, where it just kind of goes straight uploaded. I think she edits them and then puts them and then uploads them like as a normal video. So I think these are comments from those comment section of those videos after they're like uploaded. So anyway, because she doesn't have live chat on her live stream. So anyway, I think that I may make a comment. What if I make a comment? Can I make a comment about like a random dream that I had? On this well, it'd have to be about a pyramid though, maybe. I mean, I don't know if she only reads stuff that's on topic, but I have to be about my experience, my dream about a pyramid. Could I dream about a pyramid and then write a comment and then maybe she would read it next time? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make a note to myself. I'm gonna write on my hand, make a comment about a pyramid. Make pyramid comment. Linda Moulton Howe. Alright, so make pyramid comment. Sorry, I have my thing flipped, but alright, gonna do it.
Standing inside this craft in a room. The room does not seem to have any windows and no sharp corners.
Okay, this guy's having a
size to be about 15 by 20
dream
inches
about
long.
being on a
It
spaceship.
is all one color, a sort of whitish look. And as I am looking
Again,
around,
like,
these two beings approach me. They look like two older humans. One is a female and the other is a male. They are both wearing these white, dress-like clothing. It covers their whole body
okay.
and is very loose except on their
but
arms.
this is admittedly,
It covers
this
their arms
person
down to their wrists
saying,
and is
this is a
tightly
dream that I had. This is a
It has a huge
weird
collar. It
dream
comes up to their
that I
chins and
had
goes over their front.
about being on a
The female has
spaceship.
long hair that is grayish and is on top of her head like a beehive hairdo. The male has short gray hair with some balding. And they look to be around 5'5" in height, maybe a little taller. As I am looking at them, they come over to me and I hear the female say, "You are here to learn, and this will help you."
The
She does not
aliens,
use her mouth to speak,
they're
but I hear
big
it in
fans
my
of
head.
telepathy.
I then go sit on a sort of cot, which has a white pad on it. It's up against the wall. And I put my legs on the pad, sitting upright. The female then touches the center of my forehead with her finger, and at the same time says to me, quote, "This will help you," close quote. I then slowly float my top part of my body back onto the cot. I'm fully clothed. I am still on the cot, but I feel like I am in another place. I then see myself as another person, a young woman in another life. I go through
Does
that
mine
life,
have to be
seeing
this
my family,
long?
husband, children, and friends,
If I make
right up
one
to
this
my
long,
death
though,
in
she'd
that life.
probably read
I
it.
died at a young age.
She'd probably
from a
read
gunshot
it.
wound. I also
Is
saw
it
her go after
unethical
he
for
died.
me to make
While I was
up a dream
dreaming
I
that
had
night,
about a
I was also
pyramid
experiencing the feelings
to
I
make a
felt while living
comment?
that life. The happiness and sadness I felt as that person, and I could see how my death made others so sad too. At that point, I woke up from the
It's a
dream.
moral
in my bedroom.
quandary.
I had this lucid dream over 30 years ago, but when I think about it, it seems like yesterday because the details and what I learned are still fresh in my mind. I have had many more lucid dreams since this one, and this was not the first one I've had.
This is the
What I was shown
this
was how
is the thing though. This people are like, this was my dream. This is a dream that I had. Why are we taking people's dreams as evidence of anything or even interesting? It's just canonical to human existence that other people's dreams are not interesting.
and then pass on, and then go on to repeat it again. That those we have lived with before may be living with us now in some way or not.
Oh my god, I feel like
did find it
1.75
to
is
be
not
helpful to
fast
me
enough.
in understanding the reincarnation process. And I received in my email on March 27th, 2025, a mysterious, beautiful image, along with a heartfelt letter to me, Linda, that began, quote, "A beautiful morning to you.
It's
I
the
really
sun.
enjoyed your shows this past few weeks with Dan Grayson and the
This
subject
is
of
not a
Afterlife.
mysterious image, it's
I
the
wasn't able to
sun.
listen live last night or to share in the chat, so I wanted to share this with you after listening to the show this morning. It was about 30 plus years ago. I had my own NDE, near-death experience, that I will never forget. I had taken bee pollen as a remedy for seasonal allergies and had such a severe reaction to it that I went into anaphylactic shock. I lost consciousness and was then out of my body and floating in this beautiful light of pastel pink, blue, and white. I was surrounded by many light beings. That is to say, they had an outline of a body shape, but no other discernible features.
Wait,
I
is
heard
this
their
like a
voices in my mind
Photoshop of
telling
what
me that,
she
quote,
saw?
"It wasn't time for me to be there yet." Close quote. But I wanted to stay longer. The next thing I knew, I was back in my body. After that, I had
Near-death
never been
experiences
fearful
are
of the
also a
death process.
thing.
I was also getting this message in my
They
mind
don't
as we
actually
spoke about the
indicate
frustration
anything
with
about the
delay and
afterlife.
disclosure by the government that we are not alone. Though that acknowledgement would be a great boost to getting the truth out there for some, those of us who know and are no longer wary of speaking of their own experiences,
Yeah.
that we may actually carry as much weight.
We don't
as an
need
announcement from the
disclosure.
government
We're gonna
or
do it
authorities. Just like you
ourselves.
shared your story of your experiences as a child, Linda, going to sleep at night and leaving your body to follow the light. I'm sure that sharing that story was more profound to others. It encouraged them to also want to share theirs. Thank you for the work you and your team continue to do after all these years. Darla Green. And I am so glad to hear these heartfelt words from so many of you, and would like to turn to Ian in England now for more of your own thoughts and experiences, and to say
What?
to you genuinely, may the thought that dwells in the light protect all of us forever. Thank you for being there tonight in the share of what I cherish, these texts and
This
emails
was-
and chats.
okay.
And sorry about the technical confusion at the top, but we are human. And Brad will cut it off, it will be gone, and we'll have the clean program. And right now, I would like to turn to my dear, dear friend and colleague in England, Ian Holling, to pick up, Ian, what I'm hoping that we can do for the rest of the Earth Files YouTube tonight is to encourage people that this is a safe zone, that they can talk about interactions with other beings, with things that come
Oh
through the ceiling,
no.
whatever it is.
Oh
And that we
no.
could start tonight,
I thought.
genuinely and honestly, sharing perhaps.
Oh no. Okay. Okay, so I've done one of these before from one that was like recorded, and I basically usually there's a lot like the ones that I've watched, there's a lot more at the beginning of like, hey, here's what we're like talking about today. You know, well, the main one that I watched was like this, you know, I think the other video that's of her that's on my channel is this guy who talks about some weird dream that he had as a child and how that says things about aliens or whatever. Oh, it's the no, it's not the pyramid that's under, I don't remember what it was about. It was weird aliens. And then, you know, that lasted for like half an hour, and then she like went to comments and stuff, but this was like 5 minutes of like pyramid stuff, and now we're just gonna go to comments. I'm sorry. I love myself too much to sit through any more comments. I really thought we were gonna get some good pyramid stuff, but that just does not seem to be the case. And I can't do this to myself. I'm very sorry, but thanks to everyone for watching. I wanted to know more about the shafts. What's up with the shafts? What are they? Where are they going? What part of it is the city? Are the shafts going to the city? Are the city inside the shafts? Like, I thought we would learn about the shafts, and I was excited about that, but that is not what happened. So yeah. Anyway, I like to do a live reaction to these because I just think it's more fun, and also because I'm a lazy person. That's the other part of it. But yeah, this was disappointing. I still had fun. But I just can't sit through a half hour of people talking about their dreams. So, thanks to everyone for watching. Bye.